Eat bullets! Well, let's go kick some ass and then find some bubblegum.
Hello, this is Eden with HelixxVR. Today I'll be reviewing Wanted Killer VR. Wanted Killer VR is a mix between a wave shooter and cover shooter, with almost a Borderlands style aesthetic. It's made by PlaySnack for the HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, and Windows Mixed Reality. Interestingly enough, this is actually based on the mobile phone game Wanted Killer. This isn't a mobile VR game, but just a standard mobile game. Luckily, there's no hint of microtransactions or anything along those lines which often come with phone games. Generally in this game, you'll either be defending a point against waves of enemies for a set time, then moving on to the next point, or you'll be clearing enemies out of a level. You can either play it slow, taking cover and firing back, or dash around quickly, never staying still long enough for the enemies to aim at. There are two modes, the campaign with missions and a little story as you go through it, and an unlockable survival mode, which is just to survive for as long as you can for a leaderboard score. Now, the interesting mechanic which makes this game stand out is the movement system. You can either instantly teleport, or teleport in slow motion. When in slow motion, you move along the teleport path. You can use this to take out enemies and dodge bullets, which are all moving slowly. You can even switch the place you're teleporting to in the middle. Now, I know some people hear teleport and say no right away. You'll be happy to know that there is an option for free locomotion. That said, I personally feel that it ruins what makes the game unique. The temptation is just to use it to dodge bullets and close in on the enemy rather than to play tactically, with two pistols which can be replaced with new versions with different skills and upgraded as you go through the game. Personally, I rarely find myself using them, as you can pick up the enemy's weapons and use them until they run out of ammo. There are a good variety of enemy weapons, including assault rifles, shotguns, and a laser rifle. The graphics are fairly good for an indie game. They won't wow you, but it looks good in game. The sound fits well. The game is voiced. The main characters are obviously not native English speakers, but it's all clear. I personally enjoyed the characters just throwing quips out during the gameplay. Unfortunately, there are some issues with the game at launch. Enabling free locomotion makes the game much easier at the moment. I went from being stuck on a level, dying about 10 times in a row, to passing it without losing any health after enabling free locomotion. I've also come across the occasional pathfinding issue with the enemies, and the occasional issue making my own path as the level changes and pink areas disappear. This usually didn't affect the gameplay too much. Wanted Killer VR is priced at approximately $10, €10 or £7. The game does have 15 missions currently, which is a few hours of gameplay. That said, there are only 3 maps, so you will be seeing the same areas. The plan is to add 3 more characters and a few more maps. It's fairly cheap for the amount of content. To summarise this review, I'm happy to recommend Wanted Killer VR. While the game itself is quite short, it feels well put together, and it's quite fun. It could do with more maps and adjustments to the balance, but the developers are aware and plan to work on it further, with plan to come out of early access by the end of 2018, and it is, once again, pretty cheap for the amount of content that you get. Once again, this was Eden from HelixxVR. If you'd like to see more content like this, please remember to like and subscribe.